Hi guys, so this video we're going to talk about customs, bringing stuff to the Philippines. How do you bring medicine, cash, earn, or remains of your loved ones, makeup. This is a general guide guys and we'll talk about privilege as well. But before we proceed, is a warning that this is just a general information. I don't work for the government, I'm not part of customs, I'm not a professional something. So this is just general info, guys. Okay? I'm gonna put the link on my source of info in the description box. So let's go ahead. Let's start off with a reminder by the Philippine Embassy in Saudi Arabia. It is in relation with what happened recently with Onion. PAL crew members, Blue Pacific crew members tried to illegally import onions because onions in the Philippines, we have the most expensive onions in the world. According to Bureau of Customs, all passengers going to the Philippines intending to bring fresh agricultural products of plant origin for personal consumption must secure a clearance from the Bureau of Plant Industry. What are they talking about? What are agricultural products like fresh fruit, vegetables, regardless of volume? Whether you're saying it's for personal consumption, it doesn't matter. You need a clearance to do that, to bring it to the country. And how do you get that clearance? You need to apply through email pqsbpi@gmail.com or in person by visiting the Bureau of Plant office in the Philippines. What if you're sneaky, you bring things that you're not supposed to bring? According to the Bureau of Customs, if ever you bring onion and other fruits or vegetables without a clearance, shipments without proper and incomplete documentation shall be confiscated to prevent possible spread of plant diseases and pests that can severely affect local agriculture. Confiscation, that's the most lenient consequence. How about penalty or imprisonment? Yikes. I know there are kababayans who bring in stuff that they're not supposed to bring. One kababayan said, "Nagdala kami ng mga steaks last time umuwi. Kami ng asawa ko frozen lahat. Hindi naman kami sinita." You can't bring in meat in the country. Anywhere in the world, hindi talaga pwede, diba? Anyway, a lot of people, including myself, not that I've one time strawberry, but Bureau of Customs is partly to blame for this long history of not applying the rules or for being very, very lenient. They say if the goods are too few or too little or no commercial value, sige na lang, just let it go. And their second major mistake or failure is that they fail to consistently educate the public on the rules and requirements. Wala. Another thing that they are wrong is inconsistent. You know how sometimes they don't even bother looking at your completed customs declaration form? Sometimes they don't even accept it. Parang wala lang. Ayan, they are lenient, they fail to consistently educate the public, and they are inconsistent. But we are responsible citizens, Char. We choose the safe path. So let's ask the question, what needs to be declared? To answer that question, we'll have to go through the Bureau of Customs form together. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. But stop, important info. All persons and baggage are subject to search at any time. Okay, if you say, "Oh, I have nothing to declare," but the customs officer insists on opening your bag, do not fret. Let them do their job. Don't make a scene. Assault, resistance, or disobedience to a customs officer may result to criminal prosecution, agay. Ouch. We don't want that. If they want to open your bag, go. Next up, we have prohibited goods. Goods that you cannot ever bring into the country. They are banned. What are they? Written or printed goods, negatives or cinematographic films, photographs, engravings, drawings, paintings of representation of an obscene or immoral character. Bold, porn, whatever form, don't bring it to the Philippines. Next up, materials advocating or inciting treason, rebellion, insurrection, sedition against the government. Yan, that's very explainable. Next, abortion paraphernalia. Abortion is illegal in the Philippines. Next, adulterated or misbranded food or drugs. Yan, They put Milo, but then it's not Milo inside. If you guys are bringing in any stuff, sometimes when we're so tipid with the space, we remove it from the original container. That's not a good idea. Keep it to its original container where it has all the labels. Now, don't try to unpack it or repackage your food items especially. Next, counterfeit goods, bags, shoes, etc. Ha! Philippines. You have so many of these counterfeited goods. Don't bring in fake items. Be you. Don't try to impress other people. Char. Next, goods manufactured in whole or in part of gold, silver, other precious metals or alloys, stamp, brand, or mark that does not indicate the actual fineness of quality of the metal or alloys. Moving on to important info. This is important, you guys. All persons, baggage are subject to search at any time if the customs officer insists on you getting searched. Even if you have nothing to declare, you have done nothing wrong, nothing suspicious, let them do their job. Okay? Because assault, resistance, or disobedience to a customs officer may result to criminal prosecution. So let them do their job. If you have nothing to hide, don't fret too much. And this is very important as well. All travelers bringing in goods with a value of 10,000 pesos or below shall not pay duties or taxes. Ayan. In dollars, it's about $200. If the value is 10,000 pesos or less, you shall not pay any taxes, duty. No, nothing is collected as long as it's 10,000 pesos or less. And this is available for all travelers. You can avail it no matter how frequent you travel to the Philippines. Filipino or foreigner, this is for you. But there's more. How about duty and tax-free privilege? So this is for Filipinos who are entitled to duty and tax-free privileges. Returning Filipino residents. So they are nationals who have stayed in a foreign country for a period of at least 6 months. Pilipino ka na nagstay ka sa abroad ng at least 6 months. Next one are OFWs, overseas Filipino workers. We already know they are under employment contracts, naka-working visa, ganun. And lastly, overseas Filipinos or balikbayans. They are Filipinos and their families and descendants who are now residents or citizens of other countries and are coming to the Philippines to resettle. So they're given duty and tax-free privilege. By how much? What is the extent of this duty and tax-free privilege? It depends on how long you've been away from the country. So if you've stayed abroad, guys, for at least 10 years and you have not availed this privilege for that duration, you can have an amount of 350,000 pesos amount of goods without paying any taxes or duties. Next, if you've stayed abroad for at least 5 years, but not more than 10 years and have not availed this privilege for the last 5 years, the amount is up to 250,000 pesos. Lastly, if you've stayed abroad for less than 5 years and have not availed of this privilege within 6 months prior to arrival, then the amount of duty and tax-free privilege is up to 150,000 pesos. Yay! What is covered by the duty and tax-free privilege? Wearing apparel, goods of personal adornment, toilet goods, instruments related to your profession, and analogous personal or household effects. Basically, personal belongings. Kung abot niya ng 250,000, kung covered ka ng duty and tax-free privilege, that's good. You won't have to pay taxes. While for returning OFWs, there's an additional privilege for you. It is that you can bring in home appliances and other durables, limited to one of every kind, once in a given calendar year, and the amount shall not be more than 150,000. O pwede magdala ng mga home appliances pag OFW. Up to 150,000 yung amount. Of course, again, those items that are not covered by the duty and tax-free privilege are items that are not in commercial quantity. So they have to be personal belongings. They can't be something that you're about to sell in the country. Hindi yun covered ng tax-free privilege. Next are not intended for barter, sale, or hire. Again, you shouldn't sell it or barter it or hire it. Dapat personal belongings. And lastly, it should not be prohibited importations. Other things that are not included in the duty and tax-free privilege are luxury items, vehicles, watercrafts, aircrafts, and animals. How to avail of the duty and tax-free privilege? You need to fill out the personal and household effect declaration form, which is available at the airport. And then, another thing is you have to secure a tax exemption endorsement from the Department of Finance. This one I find it complicated, but I found an advisory by the customs that says if you guys are not able to secure this, you can apply for this or secure this upon arrival from abroad. So, pwede naman upon arrival. Generally, if you are in doubt, just declare it. Better to be safe than sorry. Failure to declare any dutiable goods will be subject to payment of duties and taxes plus a surcharge of 30%. Yan. So, if in doubt, just declare it. And for families traveling, only one declaration form is required per family. Family refers to members of a family who are related by blood, marriage, or adoption and are arriving in the same flight. One declaration customs form is fine. Basta magkasama kayo and you are related. So what needs to be declared? Let's go for review. To do that, we'll go through the customs form together. The question is, are you bringing in any of the following? Money. How much money do you have? Char. This is rich people problem. Sana all we have this problem. First question. Are you bringing in Philippine currency, Philippine peso, or Philippine monetary instrument in excess of 50,000 pesos like check, bank draft, certificate? How much Philippine peso are you carrying with you? If it's 50,000 or more, you have to declare it, and you would have to need a BSP clearance. This is not a good idea. Please, if you're traveling to the Philippines, you can exchange some peso while abroad, get some peso abroad, but don't bring in 50,000 pesos or more, whether you are arriving or leaving the country. Leave your pesos here. Put it in a bank or exchange it to your currency. Okay? Next. Question. Foreign currency or foreign monetary instrument in excess of 10,000 US dollars or its equivalent. Ayan. If you're bringing in more than $10,000, you have to declare it. Carrying other foreign currencies. Let's say you're carrying 50,000 Canadian dollars, 20,000 Australian dollars, 50,000 pounds. You have to convert it to US dollars to know whether you have to declare it or not, whether it's in the 10,000 US dollars threshold. And able to do that, there is a site by the BSP or Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas that you can check. And they always update this. So the exchange rate today is as of February 1. This is very updated. You just have to convert, guys. But personally, I think if you're carrying a lot of money, it's better to do wire transfer with the bank. It's much safer. Moving on. If you really want to bring in more than $10,000 with you, yes, you can. It's only a threshold for what you need to declare or not. There is no limit to the amount of foreign currency you can bring into the country. If you have so much money, go bring it. But be prepared to be asked for the source of your money and its purpose. Next, gambling paraphernalia. Ayan. For example, roulette wheels, gambling outfits, loaded dice, marked cards, machines, or apparatus devices used in gambling. If you're carrying them, you need to have a permit or a clearance from the Philippine Amusement and Gambling Corporation. Next, cosmetics, skincare products, food supplements, and medicines in excess of quantities for personal use. Ooh, this is a good one. You are carrying with you medicine or skincare products. A lot of Filipinos do, right? Is it in excess of personal use? How do you know whether if it's excess or not? What is the allowed quantity? Customs, you really need to inform people about this. So according to customs, guys, these are the allowable quantities for personal use. For child care articles, that's 5 kilograms. For toys, 10 pieces. For perfumes, 5 pieces. What? 5 pieces lang, Jennifer? I know, I'm shocking. Should be more than that. Kasi Filipinos bring a lot of perfumes. Moving on. For lipstick, it's 10 pieces. For shampoo, it's 2 kilograms. Lotion, 2 kilograms. Bar soap, 2 kilograms lang. Assorted cosmetics, 1 kilogram. Household hazardous substance, 5 kilograms. By the way, if you guys are thinking of bringing detergent, don't. Vitamins, supplements, other health supplements intended as maintenance, 500 grams in total. Processed food, 10 kilograms. Wine, liquors, 2 bottles not exceeding 1.5 liters. So I want to go back to medicine because this is very, very important. According to the Philippine Consulate General in New York, visitors or travelers taking prescription drugs should bring a letter from their physician stating the condition for which they are receiving treatment and the dosage with English translation. The amount of drugs brought into the country should also be sufficient for the duration of the visit. So you need a letter and a prescription from your doctor. I found an FDA, Food and Drug Administration, joint circular that gives us more info. So imports, guys, of related products may be brought into the country without clearance from FDA as long as it's for personal use and its quantities does not exceed the limit. So what is the limit? Medical devices. Except for medical devices used as maintenance such as insulin needles and lancelets, which are sold by packs, can be up to 100 pieces. So for medical device, 1 piece of each type, except for medical devices used as maintenance. Over-the-counter drugs, 50 grams. Prescription drugs. The imported quantity or volume should correspond to the quantity or volume specified in the prescription with the corresponding physician's license number or its equivalent for prescriptions issued by foreign physicians. So, you have to have a prescription that really mentions how much quantity you need. So go to your doctor and update that prescription of yours and bring how much you need. Next question. Dangerous drugs such as morphine, marijuana, opium, poppies, or synthetic drugs. You need to have a permit or clearance from the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. I hate drugs. Just kidding. Oy. Marijuana is illegal in the Philippines. Please don't bring it here. I know it's so common abroad. Funny, it's still illegal here in the Philippines, although it's it's common. Next question. Firearms, ammunitions, and explosives. Do not bring. You need to have a clearance to import such things from the Firearms and Explosive Office or the Philippine National Police. Next, alcohol and or tobacco products in commercial quantities. So, commercial quantities, what do you mean by that? Filipinos love their alcohol or tobacco. So, you guys can bring in this amount or quantity and you won't have to declare it. Each traveler is entitled to duty and tax, VAT and excise free importation of 2 rims of cigarettes. So 2 rims is fine, or 50 sticks of cigars. That's okay. Or 250 grams of pipe tobacco. Okay, this is the allowable quantities that you won't have to declare if you bring in within these quantities. How about for alcohol? Tagay, 2 bottles of liquor with total value of 10,000 pesos or less. 2 bottles limited to 1.5 liters. Okay? Next, foodstuff, fruit, vegetables, live animals, meat, eggs, marine and aquatic products, plants, or products and their byproducts. Again, we already talked about this. If you're bringing in fresh agricultural products, you have to have a clearance from the National Veterinary Quarantine Services or the Bureau of Plant Industry. Okay? Next, mobile phones, handheld radios, and similar gadgets in excess of quantities for personal use and radio communication equipments. Now, this one is tricky. I really tried to look for the within personal use quantity, but I could not. It's safe to say, I think, that per person, 2 gadgets, 3 gadgets is still considered personal. No? This is your personal discretion na, guys. I'm gonna leave it to you. Next up, cremains or human ashes, human organs or tissues. If yes, please secure clearance from the Bureau of Quarantine. First, sincere condolences for our kababayan. So we're going to do this. So this is the process, guys, when you are transporting or bringing into the Philippines cremated human remains. First, a death certificate, cremation certificate, and a consular certificate or a consular mortuary certificate. So death certificate and cremation certificate, they're easy to get. You can get them from the funeral service. But consular certificate, they are issued when the human remains of a deceased Filipino or foreigner are to be transported to the Philippines. So you can apply for this at the Philippine Embassy or consulate in your countries. So every embassy or consulate have the process and requirements posted on their website. So for example, this one is in New York. They posted a process here. Yan, report of death and then shipment of remains. It's all on the website, guys. How to apply and what are the requirements. It's all there. Okay? Each embassy have their own process. The requirements would be the same. One kababayan who shared their experience on applying for this certificate says, according to Gigi, you need to get mortuary certificate from the Philippine consulate. I will be bringing home an urn too, and I process that at the consulate. If you're close, the process can be very fast as long as you have complete documents. So it sounds okay. And just a reminder, cremated remains must be placed in a crematory or funeral urn sufficiently protected against breakage. In some countries like the US, passengers must purchase a temporary or permanent crematory container made of a lighter white material such as wood or plastic. Your funeral service should be able to help you with this. And again, best to carry on. Please don't put it in check-in. You don't know what they do with the bags. How much they throw them, baka masira po. Carry on. Next question, are you bringing in jewelry, gold, precious metals, or gems? The good thing is that these items can be considered personal belongings and tax-free duty privilege if you're covered. Next is other goods not mentioned above. What are other goods, guys? In summary, for all travelers, you can bring in goods worth 10,000 pesos or less and you shall not have to pay duties or taxes. Filipino residents and balikbayans may avail duty and tax-free privilege depending on how long you've been out of the country and depending if you're really resettling here. Be mindful of the goods you're bringing into the country and its quantity, especially yung mga prohibited items, don't bring them. Customs may be lenient or lazy, but you never know when matimingan ka ng isang strict customs officer. So, choose the safe path. And if you can, don't worry about items. We have a lot of items here in the country. I think the best choice is to shop local. Support the economy. Take your family shopping with you. It's a bonding experience. You're helping the economy, you're bonding with your family pa. Plus, avoid trouble with customs pa, diba? Avoid those risk of losing your items because of theft. I've been hearing a lot of stories lately, sadly. And then, other kababayans, instead of putting their items to their luggage, they send a balikbayan box 2 or 3 months in advance before going home to the Philippines. That is also an idea. So this is all I can share with you about customs and answering the arrival form, customs arrival form, and the prohibited items, and your duty and tax-free privileges. Again, this is for information only. Guys, disclaimer. If this was helpful, please leave a like on the video, share this to anyone who'll be traveling to the Philippines soon, and if you have any personal experience dealing with customs, comment down below. That would be helpful to our fellow kababayans. And you have any tips, comment down below. So I'll see you guys in our travel update. Thank you all and God bless. Bye.